everyone, my name is Samantha Aquaviva and welcome to The Samantha Show. Today I will be interviewing Judson Rosebush, a virtual reality pioneer, sexpert, president of Edge Interactive Publishing, and the publisher of this new book, The Cosmos, The Arrivals. Welcome, Mr. Rosebush.
Well, glad to be here.
You're a real-world professor. Can you tell us a little bit about Professor Gamer?
Well, Professor Gamer is the narrator and storyteller of The Cosmos, and he has a fly-on-the-wall perspective of this most unusual house in a most unusual school, and that's what he brings to it. He's sort of a mysterious character.
What inspired him to tell this story?
Well, we believe that he has a vast repertoire of sexual knowledge and that he gathered it together and a combination of life experiences and knowledge of literature and observation and reading and brought these things together to bear upon the cosmos and bring this to life. And
where is the cosmos? Is it a real place?
Well, we're not completely certain about that. There are various rumors about. The house is recognizable perhaps to someone who knows about reform schools for boys or schools for wayward girls. There's a quad and some academic buildings about. There's a flagpole, a set of stocks. And most certainly is a real place in the imagination.
And who are the Cosmos and how many are there?
Well, there are 8 Cosmos in the Cosmos house. They are led by Babs, who is the monitor, and a caste above the other 7 who are pledges. Babs' roommate is Tiffany. She's a promoted sex industry worker, shall we say politely. 2 of the Cosmos are former strippers. 2 of them are newbies who are about to discover they are way in over their head. One of them is shall we say, a collapsed monitor who is very irritated to discover herself back in this situation again. Mm-hmm. And one of them is redacted.
Redacted?
Robin Redacted. We're not sure whether she was lobotomized, given drugs, or simply has selective amnesia.
So it's like a mystery.
I guess it is, yes.
And what are the requirements to be a Cosmo?
One must be sexually curious and sexually adventuresome and desiring of learning and knowledge. There are no physical requirements. Some Cosmos are heavy, some are thin, some are black, some are white, some are Asian, some are Arab, some are men, some are women, and some are, we're not completely sure what they are.
So very versatile. What time period does this take place?
The professor always writes about things happening in the present tense, so it is not a view into something that occurred in the past, but it is always something that is happening and unfolding in real time. The house itself is a Victorian structure that he lets us believe, mm-hmm. and the garments and costumes of the Cosmos are contemporaneous, whatever that means. The games and the activities and the power struggles are completely timeless. It's also true that the Cosmos House has some rather modern cybernetic type devices in it that has cams which are remotely connected to something called the automatron, which seems to be an outside force of some sort. The sex toys also are wireless and seem to be bidirectional, and there is a mirror in the house called the Minxie mirror, mm-hmm. which is let's just say that a Cosmo who would approach the mirror and kiss it would discover the mirror kisses back.
Very interesting. And who are the gamers in this book?
Well, the gamers are, obviously the professor himself is a gamer, mm-hmm. and the 8 Cosmos who play the gamers, and yes. Some of the other characters that we meet in the various places that they visit and inhabit are gamers. Mm-hmm. And it would suggest that there is sort of a cadre of gamers surrounding the house and the school who manage and keep the place running and operating and so on. But perhaps the most important gamer is the reader themselves, who yes. is invited to be a participant observer and who has actually little choice but to invest themselves into the ideas and concepts, and who is in danger of being modified themselves.
Tell me a little bit about the games that the Cosmos play.
In some respects, classic BDSM type power scenes. They are involve adventure game type of interactions. There are props, there are obeisances, there are garments, there are locations. And the first games that occur are what are called the roommate games, in which the roommates compete against each other. And as the game develops, the various cosmos will struggle to determine who are the winners and who are the losers, although that's a somewhat arbitrary term. They will opt in different directions and go to different destinations. And some will be successful in their goals and some will not.
And everybody seeks comfort in comparing something new to something that they know. Can you compare the Cosmos to other fetish and BDSM books or novels?
Well, I'm reluctant to do so, but it's certainly true that the 1001 Nights, with its kind of rolling frame story, is an influence. If we were to look at the Marquis de Sade's novels with his heroines like Juliet and Justine, or the narrative type stories that you find the Duenas tell in the 120 Days of Sodom, but it lacks de Sade's violence and gruesomeness and killing and that degree of pain. Certainly something like the story of O would be recognized with its chateau and its secret society, and again a transformation of a player who undergoes a change in attitude. The Gore books, which have a very rich world and casts and society, and again a lot of the games there or the play is very detailed. The beauty books, Annie Rice's series, set in castles and kind of a medieval situation, would be familiar to the readers of the Cosmos, or vice versa perhaps.
And what about novels like 50 Shades of Grey and The Hunger Games?
Well, I get asked that a lot. 50 Shades of Grey is kind of a romance novel primarily directed at female readers, in which the heroine manages to convince the evil Mr. Grey to abandon his bad habits. The Cosmos has been called 50 Shades of Grey for men, in that nobody abandons their bad habits, so to speak. Games and the sex play is relished and enjoyed and developed and built upon, and in a very slow, fairly nonstop fashion. Hunger Games is, because it's a game, we're sometimes compared to that, but this is not a game in which people are eliminated, die, kill, or right. There's no death, there's no destruction, there's no gore. That is not part of the philosophical underpinnings of the Cosmos. The Cosmos is a sexual exploration, and it's done for pleasure and joy and excitement.
And I think the women will really like it. I found it to be very revolutionary and detail-orientated.
Well, thank you for saying that. We've had women who have told us that they've become faint reading the book, and we've had women who told us they got excited reading the book. And I think some of it is the what they bring to it and what their expectations are.
What are some of the other reactions you've gotten so far?
Well, we've had men tell us that it tests their comfort zone, and we've had other men who are perhaps more sophisticated who tell us that it's quite within their comfort zone. Some readers are confused as to whether it's a series of short stories. Mm-hmm. It does have a series of scenes, and it does develop. We've had some readers who ask us if it's a treatment for a movie or a treatment for a game, or if it is a game, and the answer is no, it's a novel about a game. And we've had people who read the book and tell us that when they go out and look at the real world, that they see the world differently, and I think that's a good thing.
That is great. It's like it broadens people's perspectives.
Yes. Thank you.
And where is the book available? Where can we go get a copy of the book?
Probably the easiest way is to order it off of Amazon. It's there on both the paper copy of the book is on Amazon, as well as the Kindle version for people who want to download and have the book on an electronic reader. I rather like the hardbound book because not only does it have the narrative of the story, but it also has diagrams of the Cosmos House. It has manifests of all the characters and what they're wearing and what their changes are. It has a glossary of the terms, and it has a massive index so that people who have a curiosity about something can go into the index and then work their way back into the book. It is almost an atlas of sexuality and activity.
Is the Cosmos the Arrivals a part of a series?
It is. It's the first of 5 books which describe one term in school, and at the end of that term, it's presumed that 4 of the Cosmos will opt in one direction, and 4 of the Cosmos will opt in another direction. Some of the Cosmos coming into the term want to go one way and some want to go the other, and maybe not all of them will have the outcome that they desire. In the first book, which spans the first 14 days of the adventure, we meet the Cosmos, we discover the house, we discover their desires, their fears, their motivations, some of them are not completely nice human beings, some are wonderfully forgiving. In the second book, which is released in 2015, called The Run-Up, the games begin, and they begin with the roommate gangs and the Cosmos starting to struggle with each other. Allegedly, the fate of all the Cosmos is determined at the end of Book 3, what's called the Beach Day. But for some reason, there seems to be a Book 4 as well, and that is called the Run-Out. And anyone who is familiar with college fraternity or college sorority lore would know what a run-out is. And the final book is called The Dungeon Party. And if you don't know what that means, probably I should not infer what the professor is trying to suggest by that title.
And where can we reach the professor? Do you have social media accounts we can follow?
Rumor has it that the professor has a Twitter and a Facebook page, and that he is answering questions to the initiated and the uninitiated, gamers new and gamers old, and that sometimes the questions can be quite trivial, and he tries to be polite to those, and sometimes the questions are deeply profound and stimulating to him and make him think in new ways. Right. And he does his best to try to communicate with or participate in a dialogue about ideas the book brings to life.
Well, I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Samantha.
We will add all of Professor Gamer's social media accounts at the bottom of the video. And thank you so much for watching.